Hi everyone. Welcome to one of our first attempts at a virtual class. So today I'm just going to take a few minutes to talk about some things that can help in regard to like ceremony in your life. Now, sometimes people think ceremony is this like really religious word, which it can be. But I just wanted to talk about some things that you could do in your day to maybe help alleviate some stress and make your body and your mind feel rested and supported. If you hear little grunts in the background, that is my little dog. So don't worry about that. Anyway, so some things that I personally do that really help support me is for my mental health and well-being is that I practice quite a few different things that just kind of refresh my brain or my emotional well-being. So I'm going to talk about some of those. So one of the things that I do is I keep a gratitude journal. Kind of hokey, but at the same time, it's a really positive way to start my day. Every day, it asks me to fill out 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I know right now, with being, in quarantine and stuck inside and all of that kind of stuff, it's sometimes helpful to remind ourselves of the things that we do still have going for us, like the sunshine or, a new song that you found or your pets or your family. So I think that that's a really positive way to just kind of practice some of that mindfulness and awareness of what you have going on in your life and what's positive, what's good. And when we set our minds positively, it can be like a restart. It's really easy to get stuck in kind of this rut of negativity. But if we consider our brains like a muscle, the more we work that muscle to be in a positive light, the easier it's going to fall into that positive pattern of thinking. So I find that just a really easy, quick way to kind of remind myself like, oh, hey, today's going to be a good day. I'm okay. These things are going for me. Wow. Right. Even if things feel crappy, it's what it is, and I'm okay with it. Another thing that I personally do is that I keep a journal. So this journal has been with me for quite a few years now. I have a love-hate relationship with it. Sometimes I write every day, and other times I'll go months without writing. So if we're practicing Svadhyaya, which is the study of self, writing a journal can be really helpful because it's somewhere that you can get all those thoughts, all those feelings out and down on paper. You don't ever have to revisit them. You don't ever have to reread them or really do anything with it other than just let it be a place where you can dump it all out, which is really helpful because sometimes when we're feeling stressed or anxious, we just need to be able to get it out, get it down. Another time where I really need that is when I'm feeling angry or frustrated. It just helps me to kind of be able to express myself without maybe needing to create turmoil or chaos. Right now we're living in close quarters with the people that we love, and the people we love are usually the ones that make us the most angry. So it can be nice to be able to kind of use that platform or that way of journaling about it so that you're not getting a screaming match every day. Yeah. Another thing that I do for my mental health and well-being is I use essential oils. So there's lots of different ones. If you have some around the house, that's awesome. Try them on, put them on your skin. Some of the places that are most beneficial to use them are like on your neck, on your collarbones, on your wrists, in your elbow crease, anywhere that kind of creates a little bit of heat on your body because it will naturally get it flowing. And I don't think there's any person that can argue that calming smells or scents activate different parts of the brain that help you to kind of relax or ease into things. So the one that I'm using right now, this comes from Vancouver Island. It's cedarwood and birch. So cedar is a medicine for lots of people, and I think of it as a medicine, so I use that to help ground me. I spent my spring break down on Vancouver Island, and I was able to be outside, so I'm feeling pretty disconnected with being back in Fort St. John and not being able to go outside really, and not being able to, touch dirt or trees and stuff because of the snow. So I use that. I'll put it on before I practice. I'll put it on after I have a bath or a shower, and just kind of remind myself to enjoy the feeling that it gives me, the smell, just kind of really, again, practicing that mindfulness of what that smell brings forward for you, how it feels. Another really important part of ceremony in my life is that I make sure that I have at least once a week an afternoon or a slot of time that I can take just to myself. And when I take that time to myself, I usually have like a really hot bath or something that just makes me feel good. So for me, having a really hot bath and being able to just sit there and listen and meditate. Sometimes I'll put really calm, cool music on, and just kind of let the world slip away. By just being there and being in my body, it feels really like a way to kind of regenerate or restart. So like I said, I do that every Sunday. That's one of the things that I personally practice, during the year, especially during our school year, so that on Monday I feel like I've had the rest and rehabilitation to be able to meet my week with energy. I know if you are someone who does often feel anxious or stress, that's a really easy way to kind of, again, metaphorically kind of cleanse the body, and actually allow some tension out of the muscle system, because it does ease the muscle system as well. In that, you could also do like little massages to your feet, your arms, your legs, your hands, and even to your tummy. Doing those things are really helpful because it not only boosts the immune system, but it also can relieve muscle tension, which our bodies is the main way that we hold on to things. So by easing into those little movements or, like I said, like massages, it literally is taking stress out of your body. So that's kind of cool. Another thing that I personally practice for ceremony in my life is I burn medicine. So again, I'm just spitting out ideas of things that I do in my home practice. So I burn something called Palo Santo, which is a North American medicine, more from around the lower states. I also burn sage. So I have sage sometimes in bundles. I personally, when I harvest sage, I have it broken up and I burn it a little differently, but it depends on what I have available to me. So if you're someone who does practice in medicine, continuing on with that, it's cleansing and therapeutic. It allows you to be able to just let some stuff out, let it go. Again, even if you're not someone who is practicing from a spiritual perspective, we know that scent has a huge impact on the way that our brains work, and it actually can stimulate memory, and it can stimulate like the release of happy chemicals in your brain. So doing those things can be really beneficial, especially when we're feeling kind of cooped up or stressed. Another thing that I'm going to talk about, probably the last thing, is even just practicing mindfulness in regard to, your day-to-day movements. So there are things like tea ceremonies where you make tea and you just sit with your cup of tea. Like this one's from India. I bought it when I was there. You sit with your cup of tea and you don't have any sounds. You don't have any conversation. You just really mindfully enjoy the sense, the taste, the feeling of exploring drinking that tea. So it's a mindfulness practice. So those are some key things that I'm going to suggest for if you want to try on for ceremony in your own life. Again, ceremony can mean whatever you need it to mean. Right now, we're exploring our new normal with being isolated and with not having access to some of the things we normally would. So I personally find that some of these pieces in conjunction to our physical practice can be huge. So try these on. Again, it's totally up to you what you want to do and how you do it. I am going to film a restorative, like a bed yoga class today or tomorrow and post that as well. And that can be really nice because it, again, calms the nervous system, it gets you breathing, gets you back in your body, and it's going to be really just focusing on being like slow and low. So it can be good to do before you go to bed, or if you're feeling, just having a hard afternoon or morning, it can slow everything down a bit. All right, so I feel like a bit of a weirdo talking to my computer, and I'm gonna let you all go now. If you have any questions about any of the things I talked about, I know I talk pretty quickly sometimes, let me know. Ceremony can take its shape, way, and form in your life however you need it to, but if you're curious about some of the things that I do, shoot me a text or an email and I'll get back to you. Or message me on the Google Classroom. Thanks, everyone. Bye.